Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna Makes It and I'm part of the creative crew for Kat Scrappiness, and today we're going to be working with the Party Balloon stencil, and we are also going to be working with the Airy Metallic Mousse in the Spring Foliage color, and it's a green. And then we're also going to be working with the Electric Blue color, and I think these two colors will look nice together. And we're just going to bring in some white cardstock and get our stencil laid down, and then we're going to lay this mousse down, and it's going to create a really fun balloon pattern for our card today. So I'm just going to get my piece of paper that I put down to protect my glass mat, which doesn't work. I should have laid it a little bit lower on the green paper, and then I wouldn't have got mousse on my glass mat, but it doesn't matter. I was able to clean it up quite easy. So I'm just going to take my stencil down so it won't move around on me, and then we're going to open up these mousse, these glitter mousses, metallic mousses, I'm sorry. They're called Airy Metallic Mousse. And we're just going to have a little play with it. This is the first time I've played with it, and it's a lot of fun. These two colors look wonderful together, and when you get them kind of mixed, it creates a really pretty marbled effect, and we'll have a little bit of that on our panel today. So this one had quite a bit of paint on the lid. I don't know if it had, I had them stored up right, so I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to lay it down kind of in the corner, and I'm going to try to drag down from the corner with the blue through the middle, and then bring the greens on either side of it. So I'm kind of playing around here trying to decide what I'm trying to do. And so I'm just going to lay a glob of it down, and then I'll just bring my little scraper tool and we'll just kind of drag it across the panel. And I'm trying to figure out how to manage it without making a big mess. So I've just got a Cricut scraper tool, and you may have a better palette tool than what I have. That's what I've got, and I'm just using it. And this is not the best tool because it's kind of moving up on the scraper, and so I need to get a little bit more down on there. I didn't have enough product down, so I'm going to lay it down, and then we're going to scrape it across there, and then we'll move on to our greens, and we'll just create a really shiny, metallic, shimmery panel that we're going to make a birthday card with. So I'm just going to drag this along through there and try to get as much of it down on there and cover it as much as I can. And I'm going to scrape off any excess and try and get it scraped off and put back into the bottle so that I can save it. Don't want to waste any of this stuff. Now this stuff is very cost effective. It's really, if you want to dabble in it, you can pick some of these up fairly inexpensively, and I think they could add a lot to your cards. So I got that all cleaned off because I'm going to use the same thing for my green. I did bring in a separate little palette knife there that I'm going to use for the green, and we're going to get this one opened up as well. Now I'm taking off the protective sills for these, but you're going to want to add some cling wrap to them before you put your lids back on when you that's just the best way to store them, to keep them from drying out. So I'm going to take the green and I'm going to lay it down on the top corner here, and then we'll do the bottom corner as well. And I'm just going to have kind of like the blue in the middle and then the greens on the side. And they're going to kind of overlap with each other, and we'll get some sparkly, marbly effect on it, and it'll look really neat. And this is messy, so I don't know if you don't like messy things. It is a little messy, but it's very manageable because I'm not really into messy, and I had a good time with this. And you can clean everything up. I do recommend cleaning up as soon as you're done. Pull your stencil off, take your tools and your stencil in, and soap them up and clean them up right away. And it does dry fairly quick, too. The mousse does dry up fairly quick. I thought I'd have to wait a long time before I could work with it, but I did not. So I'm just filling in all the balloons, and we're having some marbly effect going on there. Now I was hesitant to put this back in there because I observed there was some blue mixed in there, right there at the bottom. And so what I wind up doing, I think off camera, is what's left there on the bottom of that is I'm going to run it along the bottom of that white panel, and it'll just create a solid, shimmery, kind of yellow-green, or yeah, green, and I'll use it to die cut out a happy birthday, and you'll see that later. So I'm just going to get all this cleaned up, and we'll start working on our card. So look how pretty that is. All the shine and everything. It's just gorgeous. I hated to cover it up. You'll see what I mean when we get going on here. But I'm going to take all my tools into the kitchen, get some soapy water on them, get them cleaned up, and come back. So here I'm taking some cling wrap, and I'm going to cover up my mousses so that I can put the lids back on them, and I won't have to worry about them drying out. And I'll do that with both of them. On the bottom of that panel, you can see where I smeared that excess mousse down so that I could use it to die cut out a sentiment. And so we're just going to get everything cleaned up and put away, and we'll come back and put together a card with this panel. I thought I had to lay it aside to let it dry for a while, but it actually dried very quickly. I just tried to wipe that little bit off the edge there. So we'll get this mess cleaned up and come back and see what we can put together. So I've got this panel, and you can see that third row from the left is marbly. And here's where I took a happy birthday sentiment and I die cut it out of that leftover mousse. I just didn't want to waste it. Now, I am going to bring in some of the happy birthday quokka. Actually, you could take that panel, layer it on this blue polka dot. Here's the birthday quokka paper pad, the happy birthday paper pad. And then it has a coordinating stamp and die set that goes with it. And then it has the ephemera, which I'm going to use the ephemera on this card today. And I've got some scraps of some other Kat Scrappiness stuff in there, but I've got some ephemera picked out. Now, honestly, you could take that metallic mousse stenciled paper and lay it on this blue polka dot and lay that happy birthday on there, and you would have a gorgeous card. But that's not what I did. I decided to show some additional product, and so I'm going to cut this panel down and get it laid on my card base. I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller than my card base so that we have a white frame around it. And then we'll cut our stenciled panel down as well. So we'll just get this laid down on there. We've got a nice little white frame all the way around there. And you can see this pattern paper is double-sided, and it has great fun patterns on there. This is kind of like a birthday with the cupcakes and the balloons and the confetti and the quokka and all that. But we're just going to use the blue and white polka dot. So we'll just get this laid down. And give it a good press. And then I'm going to need to trim this down. And I want to get this side that has kind of that marbly in there because I want to show some of that. So I'll just bring in my trimmer and we'll get it trimmed down. I actually cut it a couple times. I first cut it at 3 3/3 by 5, but then I decided to take it down to 3.5 by 4 3/4 so that more of that pink or that blue and white polka dot paper would show around there. And that's what I decided to do. Just trying to figure out where I want to cut from so that I get the balloons that I desire to show. And this is where I'll lay it down and I'll decide that I want to cut it down further because I just can't hardly see any of my blue paper. And I've only got just a small edge of the balloons on each side there, so I can easily cut that away and then cut some from the, I think from the top or the bottom, I don't know. So we'll just cut that down. And I've decided to cut from the bottom. And then now we've got our panel that we can work with. And honestly, I wish I'd just laid this panel down and put that happy birthday that I had die cut out on there, and it would have been simple enough and gorgeous and showed off all of that sparkle and metallic look. But I'm going to bring in this happy birthday quokka, and we'll use some of the ephemera pieces from it and just kind of layer it up. I am going to use some of the ephemera to kind of hide where I smeared a little bit on one of those balloons. I'll lay the birthday quokka down on that, and it'll kind of cover up that smeared balloon there that I made. And I think it looks cute. And then we've got the happy B-Day banner that we're going to lay down on there. And we've got a little girl quokka, and we've got a gift, and we've got a little party hat that we're going to lay down on there. We're just going to get all this ephemera laid down on there. And we've got a cute little birthday card with some metallic shimmer and shine to it. So I'll get all these glued down, and then we'll have our card. And you can see I've got that happy birthday off to the side that I didn't use, but I have it and I can use it for something else, and I'll have a shiny happy birthday that I can put down on there. I'm going to be working with some more of this mousse, so I hope to bring some more videos to the channel so that you can check them out, because there are lots of colors. I'll link all the materials in the description box below so you can check it out. But this mousse is really fun to work with because it does dry quite quickly and you don't have to wait a long time for it. And it gives you a lot of shine and shimmer. So we'll get our little birthday quokka laid down there. We're going to bring our little girl in who brought the cake to the party. And then we'll add our present and our birthday hat, and we will have us a birthday party. And I'm just going to use some foam tape and just a little foam mount square, and I'm going to pop this little hat up. And we'll add some glue to the bottom of it, and we'll get it laid down on there, and we've got ourselves a little birthday quokka party card. So that'll finish it up. And you can see just all that shine and how fun that is. That mousse is really fun to play with. So check it out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.